back over to you, Steve.
Thank you, Zach. Well, there was an emotional reunion today between a man whose life was saved and the 4 Ohio State Highway Patrol officers that saved him. It happened back on July 3rd when that man was involved in a traffic accident and then had a heart attack. Today, those officers received awards, and DK Wright brings us the story, complete with the body cam video from the real-life event.
Charles Carter says God sends angels when you least expect them. His angels were wearing gray uniforms.
And there was no way that I thought I would see my angels on July 3rd. So for me, you know, those guys are my angels, and they're going to remain to be my angels forever and ever.
This body cam video shows Charles in the blue shirt speaking with officers after a traffic accident. Suddenly, he goes into cardiac arrest. Troopers called for an AED and started CPR along the road.
While waiting for the squad and Sergeant Heist arrived, Trooper White continued chest compressions. His faint pulse was found twice, but soon was lost again.
The AED arrived, they applied it twice, and got Charles on a stretcher and into the squad. Troopers continued CPR. Medics started medications. All hands were needed, leaving no one to drive the squad.
There wasn't enough personnel at the scene to drive the emergency squad to the hospital.
They didn't have a driver. With these volunteer departments, they just didn't have enough people, so they asked me to drive the squad.
So Trooper White took the wheel. In the end, Charles recovered. Today, those troopers and sergeants were given Distinguished Service Medallions.
Thank you to the 4 of you for what you did on that day to make sure that Charles and his family are here today.
So gratitude is the least that we can offer today for a miracle that was truly performed by you guys that day.
The awards were impressive. When Charles Carter and his family met the officers and their families, the hugs and smiles were priceless.
It was tough. It was a tough day, but the outcome was great.
In Cambridge, DK Wright, 4/7 News, working for you.
Thank you, DK. The officers were Sergeant Rocky Heist, Sergeant Scott Moore, Trooper TJ White, and Trooper Hunter Mahoney. Today's award ceremony was held at the patrol's Cambridge, Ohio post. All 4 officers work out of the St. Clairsville post. The Democratic